Yep.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name's Chachi. That's Tom. Welcome to In Our Humble Opinion. We're going to talk about last week's playoff action as well as the games for this weekend. Tom, so we're going to start off. What was your, like, what did you think was the craziest outcome, the one that really shocked everyone? I'll start. How about your Packers, man? Go ahead. I'll let you go. That was wild. They
Yeah, I think just the way the Packers dismantled Dallas,
yeah,
like
that was
Dallas didn't
big.
even look like they belonged,
No, that
which is
was,
just yeah, like.
as you could
But Green
see.
Bay played it right, and I'll tell you, like, there's a lot of parallels to when they won the Super Bowl in 2010 in terms of their offense is explosive. You don't know who's getting the ball.
Yep,
They're running the ball really well at the right time.
yep.
Right now their defense is playing good enough.
Hmm.
We're gonna find out this week. If I'll tell you though, I don't think San Francisco's super pleased. I'll
No,
be
I
honest with
agree.
you.
I agree.
I think they would have rather had a Dallas team that they know they could just punch in the face and they probably would fold.
Yeah. Yep.
I think this Green Bay team's super tough and resilient, and that's. I'll tell you, man. We'll see. I'm not as big of this hype Brock Purdy guy as other people are. I think he's super serviceable, but he's no Tom Brady. So
He said serviceable. Damn. Nah, I agree. I saw myself personally. Like he will. That's the reason the Ravens beat them. Their quarterback made turnovers. Our quarterback made plays. You win the game. That's. I mean, that's how it works in it. When two good teams play, that's how it works. You know. So you more
yeah,
playmakers.
I mean Dak is Dak in my opinion. He always has been. The guy's not.
Well, there's
You
the
know,
thing. There's the thing we need to talk about because that's absolutely true. I think he's a good person. You know why people feel bad talking bad about him. He is a really good guy, but he is what he is too. He's a.
a lot of people are a lot of good guys. I mean,
It's true.
we're just
Like
talking football, man.
it's X's and O's wise. Yeah, he's just pretty good. He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He always has been. I mean, I'll tell you the biggest problem there is
To defend him though,
Jerry Jones, man.
to defend him
Jerry
though.
Jones and that culture, man, is just
No, that is the
you
main
got
thing. That's
so.
no good. Talk more about it,
No,
man.
no, I think that's like to me that's the biggest eye opener, and I think Jerry Jones needs to before you rush and fire Mike McCarthy
Hmm.
because I don't think Mike McCarthy's the issue either. Look, they played really well all year. You know, I mean, yes, I think the big problem I have is why aren't they ready to play this game? And they've been ready to kick everybody else's butt. I don't
Yeah.
know if they were just so shell shocked of like, wait a minute, this team is actually probably much better than a 7 seed.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. When
So,
their
I mean,
peak is
yeah, I mean
really
that's the
good.
thing. Like Green Bay lost a lot of games by under a score.
Yep.
And you think about it when they lost to Tampa and the Giants; those are two easy, like winnable games. They blew. I mean, I can. There's a couple. The Pittsburgh game. That's one they should have won. They
Yep.
didn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you think about it. Those are right there. That all of a sudden that's 11, 12 wins.
Let me tell you.
Right, like the NFL is very, very, and they beat legit teams. They beat Kansas City.
Yep.
They beat Detroit. They went on that run. So like that's why I think they're
Can
a lot more
can we also
dangerous than
talk
people
about
think.
can we talk about the fact that like we've said it before, and I think what people miss in the playoffs is it's one game, and if you play at your peak and the other team isn't, you can win all of them. Because the thing is, all these teams left their peak game, or most of them, because the Eagles I think were nosediving, and we'll talk about that like next. But the the Packers, right? We know, like you just said, we know when they play their A game, they can play anybody, right? We've seen that all year. You've seen it. Everyone's seen it. When they're on their stuff, they're as good as anybody. And that's the thing in the
Dude,
playoffs. The team that wins in the playoffs is the one that brings it for those 4 or 3 games, and that's why they can win. That's why I don't. Everybody always wants to pick these games. I'm not picking anything because I don't know. I'll tell you who I think's gonna win, but I'm not gonna. I have no conviction with it. Like if Houston does what Houston did, they're a young team. They came out there and were like, we ain't scared. They're over there throwing the ball. One
yeah.
of these really smart. I love the play where you go the one way and then have the guy go the other. Oh, loved it. The missed. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, like the younger teams, what's really interesting is it's confidence, but also it's like you're playing with house money. Like no one expects you to do anything.
Well,
And
that's why.
like Houston and Green Bay are so far ahead of whatever development
Yep.
crazy schedule everybody thinks they're on. You know,
No,
that's
Tom,
like,
you're
and
absolutely right.
now it's just like, yeah, when you can play loose in football and you know what you're doing, it's amazing what you're able to do as a player.
My point is, if they no, you're right. My point is exactly what you're saying. If they lose these games they're playing next week, no one's gonna be like, "What a terrible season." They're gonna be like, "Hey, geez, imagine how good they're gonna be in a couple, and rightfully
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
It
exactly. They're going to be like, huh, maybe Brian Gutekunst actually knows what he's doing,
yeah.
and maybe Matt LaFleur is actually a really good coach.
And
You know,
I wanna also like bring. I think I talked to you a little bit about it in like our text thread thing when we were talking. I think honestly, you know why Green Bay does a good job developing quarterbacks. Everybody, they're not doing that thing where you pick a guy and you just throw him in there. They take their time. They develop the player. Seems to work too because I mean Mahomes is a great quarterback, and what did Kansas City do? Hey, go sit a season. I feel like just throwing these dudes to the wolves like that is not the smartest way to do it. And I know people will throw.
yeah. I mean, what people forget is Rodgers was a developmental project
Yeah.
too. Like when he came out of college, he'd hold the ball up by his ear. He was,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
he wasn't, and like his first few times coming in. I mean, the guy, he literally played 2 downs and broke his foot. Like, you know, he was really clumsy. It just looked like he didn't belong, and it was like, wow, we wasted the 25th pick in the NFL draft on this guy, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it finally clicked in like year, I'd say that's 2 or 3. Yeah, there's something to be said about learning the game, but then also like, hey, people forget when they practice every day.
Mm-hmm.
These are practice reps again in the practice squad. They're giving looks against the starters,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
And if you're competing and get better, like you can do some cool things.
And
So
before I get any crap, I just want to
yeah,
point out Lamar sat 7 games, and even when he came in, it wasn't him. They were like, "Hey, we suck. Let's try something." I mean, it wasn't the same player he is now. Look at what's his name? Even Josh Allen, he was terrible. They let him have his growing pains. He was terrible. Look up the stats. The first year and a half, he was really bad. Like everyone was like, "What is this?" But they didn't go, "Hey, he sucks. We're not gonna play." They kept letting him make mistakes. He got better over the offseason. Remember, he came back and was a completely different player. It's wild because you got to let them learn. They're gonna make mistakes. It is what it is. Now
yeah,
Stroud, I don't know what's going on. He's just really good. He still makes his mistakes, though. I want to point that out. That game, he did not, though. He was on fire. Let's say that.
yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting next year at Houston once everybody's got a year of tape, and the same even with Green Bay and Jordan Love when they have a year of tape and
Yep, yep.
defenses understand, hey, he has one of the best mid-range. Like his mid-range throws are unbelievable.
Oh, how about Romeo
Like
Dobbs coming up big in the playoffs? That's always huge, man. That's great.
what's wild is that I'm still not convinced Romeo Dobbs is the #1 receiver. He's like James Jones. He's really good. Don't get. I'm not. That's not a
Oh,
knock
that's the
either. I
strength
don't.
of your team, though. You have so
It's
many,
just
it
like
doesn't
that.
matter.
That is honestly, I think what he is, and that's really good. I actually think one of their better receivers is Dontavian Wicks.
No, he is.
That
He's
guy
really good.
he gets off the ball. He's a big, long guy. I mean, I think Watson is probably he in theory can be your #1, but you got to be on the field, man.
Yeah.
Like he's like I swear his hamstrings made of glass because of the way.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, man, it's awesome as a Packer fan because of like, hey, it's awesome because #1, I think a lot of the fans that were just on Rodgers' coattails went away,
Yep.
right?
No. No, I
But
agree.
also, like, it's nice to prove everybody wrong. Like, everybody wants to laugh and try to make fun of, like, oh, Jordan Love ain't the guy, and now he's the guy. It's like, there's a lot of receipts people kept. There's a lot of analysts that had to back off,
Yeah.
and they had to go, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, you are wrong. Colin Coward, you're one of them, man. Like, hey, I got receipts too, man. All I gotta say is,
Yeah,
like, hey,
he went overboard with it. He was like, "He can't play." I'm like, "Dude, calm down." Anyone that watched the games know that's crap. Okay.
the worst was Adam Shine, who's a Packer fan, who wanted to sit there and slob all over Rodgers, you know what, and like, come on, bro, like support your team.
I agree.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
a team. That's what I hate is like everybody, these guys are humans. You got to support who's out there. Yeah, sometimes it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong, and I'm sure
Oh,
you're,
Tom.
you know,
I
like
had that with Lamar when the contract was going up. All the Ravens fans trade him for this, trade him. I'm like, dude, he's a great player. Do not trade a great quarterback so you can start over and try to find one and hope it works because it's not going to.
well, the
Stop.
thing is too, like Lamar's a good guy. You don't hear about him
Yes,
doing dumb things outside of
yes.
football. It's like, why don't you want that guy in your locker room?
No,
Like,
I was like, what
everybody
are we
respects
doing?
the crap out of him. It's not like having Deshaun Watson. Like,
No.
gosh, that must really be awful in Cleveland right now. It's like, dude,
Oh, can I point out? Can I
nope.
point? Can I point out too before you with Deshaun? I like how Cleveland's like we're gonna get him back next year. You guys do realize Joe Flacco played way better quarterback than he ever played. That's you were going down. He never gave you games like that ever. That man threw for 300 yards in
PJ,
4 straight games.
PJ Walker played better football at times than Deshaun
But
Watson.
but here's the one.
Like,
Here's the one that I'm really interested to see. I don't know if his contract's up, but if Njoku is still on the team, he's going to go back to barely getting any passes. Joe made him a focal point. You saw how good the offense was when he was like their main guy. Okay, is he going to be okay with going back to like 3 passes thrown his way the whole game? Because you never had a wavelength like that with him, or even tried to get him involved like that. Njoku, they Joe showed you like when he's the quarterback how good Njoku can be. He was everything everyone thought he would be, and now it makes you think: was it the quarterback playing that's the reason he wasn't that good? Because when Joe was playing, that man was getting like 100 yards every game and making big plays in the red zone every time.
I'll tell you, I think
I feel like he's gonna be like, I want out of
I,
here.
I'm sure I'm willing to bet Cleveland. So Cleveland can part ways. I don't think everything's guaranteed in that contract.
Okay.
There's definitely wording that. Like everyone's like, oh, it's 200 million guaranteed, whatever. I'm not so sure.
Okay.
I think I've heard a lot. I've read a lot of things where I don't think people are truly convinced. Like I think it's guaranteed. With there's ways they could probably get out of it. I mean, if I'm Cleveland, I'm seriously like looking like, man, we should just get rid of this guy. Because like what, like shoot, I would start Flacco again. You could probably win 8-9 games.
Yeah.
And all you needed that defense to show up a couple times. You can win 11 games again. And if like think they weren't even healthy in that Houston game, and it was still close. It got out of hand at the end because they just like every time Flacco he would take a 3-step drop and get nailed.
It was pick
Like,
six. Yeah, it was just. I mean, he tried to make a play. He was trying to throw that ball out of bounds. I mean, it is what it is.
yeah, the first pick wasn't his fault. He got hit. Like everyone's like, "Oh my god, he just threw it up." No, he didn't. He got hit.
He's
Like
trying to throw the ball out of
it
bounds. Yeah.
300-pound man about to like nailing you. The
Yeah.
other one, yeah, he just read that, and that was a great play.
I know that linebacker
He
did a good
totally read
job
that
where he
goal.
stood there. Yeah, that was funny. He was like, I ain't gonna move. And he was like, got him.
That's all Cleveland did all game was they threw short to get kind of get the offense juice because they really couldn't run the ball at all.
We'll get into the Ravens game coming up. I think that actually helps the Ravens because you're going from a very unmobile quarterback to a mobile quarterback. It's gonna be a whole different kind of deal for them. They're gonna have to really
I think the Ravens are happy they don't have to play Pittsburgh again, just because you never know.
rivalry.
Game,
Yeah.
and even you saw in that Bills game, Pittsburgh, they got some dark voodoo magic or something. It makes no sense why they
stay
stick
in
around in
every
games.
game.
That team is trash. Like there is, like in all honesty, like it's painful to watch them play football.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to point out too. I think that game's gonna be good. I just think because I think Houston and Baltimore were neither team's even close to how they were in the beginning of the year. And Houston, what everyone's forgetting, well, we gotta give them more credit. Dude, half their receiving core is injured. They're all beat up. They don't have Tank Dell. They don't. Oh my God. They don't have.
It shows. I gotta tell you though. You know what it shows you?
What?
I love like these younger quarterbacks because they're willing to distribute the ball to
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like no one's a number one target.
No, I
I
agree.
hate that when we talk about number one receivers because
Yeah.
like
I mean,
it actually doesn't like when you're throwing it to 1-2 guys like a majority of the time. Like defensively, you can always like we're gonna
that's why Darnell Savage got that
shade
pick
another
six.
defender. That's what makes I think that's what makes these young quarterbacks. It kind of makes them like it's hard to game plan for because you're like, wait a minute, who are they going to actually throw to?
Yep.
And they, and they may take 2-3 reads. I mean, that's the biggest thing with Sherrod and Love. They make reads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see Justin Fields, he makes one read and then a guy wants to take off and run.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between an NFL quarterback. Bryce Young makes reads too. There's just a poor guy.
No one's open.
Worst rosters in the NFL.
No one's open either. Adam Thielen. And I love Adam Thielen, but he's like 5 years, it's over, 5 years old. Older than he needs to be.
Obviously we went through like the Packers game, amazing. Dallas, I feel bad for Mike McCarthy. He's about to get the boot probably, and they're
and here's the thing with Dallas. Here's the thing.
I think Dallas should just blow it up, in my humble opinion. But
I agree. I think you just need to. Belichick, I don't think it's going to work because of Jerry. I don't think he would want to work with him.
I don't think it does, but I can tell you, Jerry Jones is desperate. He
That's
wants
true.
this other Super Bowl so bad. And he doesn't have many left opportunities. And
well, did you see their team's about to change a lot because you have to pay your pass rusher. Okay, that's going to be a lot of money because Michael Parsons, they're going to give him the bag.
Where was Micah Parsons? I mean, honestly,
Thank you.
Dan Quinn.
Thank you.
Dan Quinn, man. Oh my goodness.
I think Dan Quinn had a bad game, but I also, Tom, I think there's like guys, you got to make plays. Like, I don't know what he was doing though. Michael Parsons is a good player, but Jesus, I didn't see him.
Micah Parsons plays 4 games against the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and with Washington and New York Giants, he looks like a superstar. But then when he disappeared, man, and he looked like that San Francisco game when there was an elite offensive line in front of you. He disappeared.
Yeah, did you see the play where like Aaron Jones scored? But I'm like, dude, you had you could have grabbed him. What the hell were you doing? He like missed the tackle. Like, bro, a good player makes that play. I can tell you with the Ravens, Clowney always does that. He's always been a good run stopper, and he's old, but he'll make that play every time. If your running back's sitting there like that, just pick him off. I mean.
So then the other. Alright, so, yeah.
Eagles.
Anyways, I think Dallas is...
You want to talk about the other cooked NFC East team? Yeah.
Cleveland, Houston, like, yeah. Houston, it's fun to watch them. Good for them. Cleveland just, dude, the injuries finally caught up with them.
Yeah. Well, it shows you if you're a team like that needs your defense to play well, you know what? I can't even say that. Their offense was winning them the game 17-14. I mean, like you said, they just couldn't stop anybody to injuries. There's a lot of defensive injuries that caught up. You're right. I mean, it's not much to say. I think Cleveland should still be proud.
Houston exposed Newsom, too. Like, that guy just got cooked. Like, left and right. I was like, whoa. Like, they didn't even have to throw it near. They didn't even try to throw it near Ward.
And I don't know if he's a number 1 receiver, but I will say this: Nico Collins is very good. He is very good player. Like him. Yeah. Underrated.
Yeah. So next game, I really wanted. This was the best game of the weekend, and I'm glad it was. Rams and the Lions. First off, the Detroit Lions fans.
Thank you. Go.
I've watched a couple different perspectives and angles. I'm not sure if everyone was just booing the Rams or what.
How you gonna boo his wife and kids though, bro?
Stafford. Dude, please, there was a lot of this whole narrative coming into the week too about Matt Stafford. He's coming back, and it just Detroit Lion fans, man. Matt Stafford. That was one of the best things that ever happened to that franchise. Yeah, he didn't win you a couple playoff games that weren't his fault to begin with.
Refs. Refs.
One was the refs. One was just, dude, you played your defense that was just they're just terrible, and the Saints were just that dang good.
That day, yeah, oh yeah.
But
definitely.
Dude. And Matt Stafford also didn't want to leave. Matt Stafford.
No, you guys made the trade because you want to get younger. It works.
He got traded because the Rams just offered a king's ransom, and they said screw it. But
I helped both guys. Yes.
Jeez, if he had that team in Detroit right now, Stafford would have thrown for 6,000 yards.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Dear Lord, Goff, you're terrible. I'm sorry. Goff is okay. Let's Detroit fans, please stop.
He's really good, but he's not better than Stafford. No. He's solid. No.
If I'm Detroit, I am so scared of how bad my pass defense is. And honestly, if Baker somehow gets hot, I'm gonna laugh so hard. because like
Yeah.
he might tear them up, man. They can't stop anything.
Look, I was tongue in
Like,
cheek about it with Tom, but if somehow our team's made the Super Bowl, dude, I can't lose. I mean, it would suck if we lost, but hey, if it's the Pack, hey, then all y'all gotta really eat that Jordan Love crow. That would be real bad. Like, yo, I thought he sucked. Like,
right?
thought he had to be benched. Thank God we didn't listen.
I do gotta say, man, my Coach of the Year candidate, I still say is Sean McVay. I know people would like probably say Kevin Stefanski, but man, dude, like.
I would do.
The
I think.
Rams were quote unquote rebuilding. That didn't look like rebuilding at all.
How about their scouting department? Puka Nacua is a legend. That dude is tough and catches every. I love him. Oh, what a beauty. What a
Yeah.
I love my wide receivers. That's my man. He is tough. Got a lot of Anquan Bolden in him. Catches that ball and just tackle me, baby.
Yeah. Both of their defenses, they kind of settled down.
Yeah.
I would say, like the Lions' red zone defense was really good in that game. That made a difference. I think, but like, I don't know, like, dude, the Rams couldn't stop the run. They looked.
Look, I know your team has to get. I know Tom. I know your Packers got to get past the 49ers. Totally agree. But I'm just pointing this out, everyone. If whoever they play next, if they somehow beat the 49ers, I am definitely taking them. I don't care. I seen them beat Detroit in Detroit. That's not a problem. At Tampa Bay, there's a reason they're 9-8, 9-8, 9-8.
Honestly, I wouldn't sleep on Tampa Bay, man.
I got it, but I think you guys
like,
could beat them.
When you watch them, you're like, man, like defensively they do just enough. And and they honestly can get after the passer, but.
Oh, I don't think they're terrible, but I think
Baker can play, man.
I like him, but I think if you know what you're doing on defense, you can give him problems. You can. He's still short, and that's true.
I'll say this. I think what I would really love, because I'm a big, like, in my lifetime, I haven't, other than like when the Packers and Bears played the NFC title game in 2010, I don't really know like the divisional rivalry in the playoffs that well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really like register with me too much.
Uh-huh.
I would love to see, like, how cool would it be if you had a Green Bay Detroit NFC title game for everything?
That'd be wild.
How much that would mean for Detroit?
Yeah.
Again, Green Bay, just the fact that, hey, like, they shouldn't be here, but they are, and I think that would just be electric and unbelievable.
I just realized too.
I mean, that would, like, that's what I'm rooting for, because, like, for me as a Packer fan, like, that's what it's all about.
Tom.
How much the NFC North constantly gets, crapped on because everyone thinks they're terrible. I think it'd be cool.
Tom, I just realized too, we're gonna be Saturday. We could be the happiest humans on earth or the saddest. Both our games will be over by then, so we're gonna see. And football is annoying because you only get one game. They don't go, hey, best of 3, buddy. Nah, go home. Okay, have a great season.
What other games do we gotta go over?
Okay,
what we got?
So we got Miami and Kansas City. That was
Oh man, real quick, man. Miami the injury bug crushed them. I know there's like people need to stop with the Mike McDaniel. Like he's a really good coach.
I agree.
That's not the problem. They ran into number one, that weather.
Awful.
That weather, yeah. And offensively, like what they do, that's just not gonna go.
I got to get on this, Tom.
Had Phillips and Chubb. I think they would have given Mahomes a really hard time.
Tom, I got to get into this though. The injuries did get them. I still think Kansas City would have won on a different day. What I can't stand about the NFL, and I get it, it's people couldn't get to the game or whatever. You will let them play in temperature that could literally give them frostbite, and they're playing on an ice field, right? But snow is not okay in Buffalo, and and here's the thing where Roger Goodell gets me.
That was dictator Governor Heichel or whatever.
Okay.
In New York. Okay. Like she was part of that problem too.
Okay.
I mean, I think the NFL, sure, but I truly think it's the dictator that they have as governor.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is. Okay.
But anyways.
Well, my thing is like I love cold.
Don't get me wrong.
I love cold games. That's why I'm being mad. I'm being me. I love snow games. Sorry. I like the Kansas City game.
I do too. I also do I don't think like the outcome was going to change. I think
No,
they
I
just
don't
would have
either.
looked
No,
pretty.
no, they're a better team.
I will tell you, living in that area, when Buffalo gets those crazy strands, they'll get like 2-3 feet an hour. It is like it can be like, especially traffic wise, really frustrating and challenging, especially if you're trying to clear it out. So I'm sure that's what they were looking at, the NFL and the governor, and that's why I'll say they made the right move.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but
that could have been really bad. But I will say this: the people of Buffalo know how to handle it, so I really also wouldn't.
well, that's my problem with it because I'm like you. I don't think either one of those games would have mattered. I think the better teams won. I just think I would love to watch that, and I think it actually benefits both. I think Buffalo is a better team in the cold because Josh Allen's going to run the ball, and it's going to be hard to stop him because you don't know where he's going. And I want to get into that too. The NFL really does. Tom, I got a problem with this because certain quarterbacks they get all the calls, and certain other quarterbacks you just let them get hit and it's fine. If that I've seen it. I'm a Ravens fan. If Lamar would have got hit, like Josh got hit, they would not have threw the flag. They've done it a million times. Mahomes and Josh Allen, they get it every time, and that's why if you play them, that's why this is going to be. First off, this game's going to be wild because I can't wait to see all the roughing penalties we get. Your guy, Jordan Love.
Did you
Jordan.
see that NFL memes or whatever? They were They had one of like they had one where like when the refs have to pick between the Bills and the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, no, dude, you saw the play where Jordan Love. Of course you did. You watched the game when he completed the long pass when it was underthrown because he got hit in the head. The dude hit him in the head with his helmet, and they didn't throw a flag. I'm like, bro, if that was Mahomes, there would have been 7 flags on the field. You know what I'm talking about? He like headbutted him with it.
I'm shocked they didn't throw a flag just because when his helmet cracked, even though he was the one that.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this?
This would have been funny.
Well, I even called that. My wife was laughing because I was sitting here watching the game, and I'm like, they're supposed to either use a timeout or get them off the field, right, and check them. Okay, use a timeout, let that happen, or supposed to miss a play. Not him. They're like, oh, here you go, buddy. Get right back out there. I'm like, guys, this is why people think it's fixed because you just give them royalties other people don't get on the field. It's true. Kansas City, it's like it's okay. You guys are the champs. We got Golden Boy plays for you guys. Can't let that happen. And it's all fun and games until we get into like a championship game or like this game coming up and you lose a game because of that. Josh Allen can fake a slide and run. Now I don't think that's what it was, but it's true. I understand. You're going to get flagged if he slides, right? And you hit him. So you do lay up. And here's the problem. He's 240. If you slow down as a DB, you ain't tackling him, and that's exactly what happened. He got fucking rolled.
I mean, honestly, the way I would approach it on defense, and I'm pretty sure every defensive coordinator doesn't care. Dude, hit him. Because if you actually hit him in the ribs and affect their game, that was worth it. I would constantly, even if it's questionable, nail him.
Oh, but here's the thing, though.
As long as you're not hitting him in the head, it's just a 15-yard penalty. But it sets a tone of like, dude, you are not getting these free yards.
No, I agree with you.
That's my problem with some of the defenders. It's like, dude, it's a part of the game and it really sucks. But honestly, man,
well,
you got to be willing to make Josh Allen understand, like, you better slide or earlier, or you're just going to get nailed.
Well, the Josh Allen thing, I blame the defenses anyway because he has shown you a perpetuancy. If you make him hold that ball, he will make a mistake. So that's all you got to do with him. You got to make him make that mistake. He's going to throw it up to you, and you'll get a pick. He throws some Sam Darnold picks, if you know what I mean. Sometimes where you're just like, bro, who the hell was that to?
Well, he does that, but also too when he runs the ball,
very loose.
He's trying to like truck everybody.
He's gonna get hurt.
That thing. I don't know why more people don't try to strip the ball from him.
Oh no! Give him the Cam Newton treatment too, man.
Like I swear they're just scared to hit him. I don't know why. Like I know he's big, but man, shoot, I would, man. At this stage in the season, man, you got to be willing to just say screw it. But like I'm talking about like the one I couldn't believe that like Pittsburgh. I was just like, wow, like way to go to not even like attempt to tackle him.
Oh yeah, that looked like quit. Like I don't know what they were doing on that play. Like no one even tried to nail him. Like just run up and hit him. Like
I'm wondering if they were afraid of a flag, but it's like stop being afraid, man.
This is the last game, yeah. Do or die,
dude,
baby.
I guarantee if that was Joey Porter, he wouldn't have cared. He would have broke his helmet would have flew the other direction.
But you're right.
Like,
Like, what, you're gonna get kicked out of
could
the
you
game?
imagine if that was James Harrison? Oh my
Well, put it this way:
god.
I love James Harrison, but if you're telling me he gets rid of Josh Allen for him to get ejected, I mean, hey, we're about to win this game, no matter who playing linebacker.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's my point, though. If it's just 15 yards, who cares? Because honestly, the, the Bills, like, I would rather get them in the red zone. They struggle in the red zone.
They do.
Because all they do is throw it, and they have nobody to throw it to.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like,
But no, back to what.
They kind of.
Sorry, I went off topic.
All right, yeah.
No, finish what you were saying. No, finish what you're saying. I'm just gonna say something right
No,
after.
anybody notice that Patrick Peterson at safety didn't really pan out there?
No, he's not a safety. Oh my
he,
god.
he looks terrible. He's so slow. He looks like. I mean, I give him credit. They tried, but
No,
yeah,
no.
they tried.
He's not Charles Woodson, buddy. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kansas City, bottom line though, their defense is really good. That's what we need to talk about too. That is a good defense. Very good. Bolton's everywhere. Their corners are really tough. Jerry Sneed with that check, bro. Just put my man in witness protection. Tyreek Hill, can we give him a little credit too? What I like about him, he has an online presence, but he's also not one of them annoying athletes that like acts like stuff didn't happen like he does. He'll joke about himself, which I appreciate. Okay, can we all just have everyone getting on him? I'm like, what do you want him to say? Oh, oh, oh. So you get mad at athletes when they act like they didn't get beat, and then when the dude's joking about how the guy checked them, because it is his friend. They used to play together. He obviously is just having fun, you know? You don't win every game. Leave him alone. I find it refreshing that he's actually realistic. Do you want to be like Michael Parsons and tell you how, we're going to get the 49ers back? Why are you worried about the 49ers, bro? You couldn't even beat you couldn't even beat the 7 seed. Go home. Go home.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
No.
I like that.
Tyreek knows how good he is, man. Like,
yeah, he don't have no.
You know, and he just, like you said, he just plays, man. And like, I love that he doesn't have all this ill will. Like when they go play Kansas City,
No.
it's just like remember it was 06 when the Colts came into Baltimore, and I thought, in like Baltimore, I was like, guys,
It's over.
Stop making
It's
it
over.
about, yeah, they moved. That was even
30 years ago. I nobody even knows.
And then like people our age, I'm like, what are you guys doing? You didn't even know this happened. Like, why do you care?
Bro, I was 8 years old when I found out that happened. I didn't even know. My dad was watching the Colts, and I was like, why are you watching the Colts? He was like, they used to be our team, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, and like, when you don't make it about, like, that's what I hate is, like, the media, they always hype up, like, even, like, they're hyping up this whole Mike McCarthy playing the Packers again, and I'm like, doesn't really matter. He coaches Dallas. I'm more interested in the fact that Green Bay's 6-0 in that building.
Yeah, that is. Dallas probably wants to play. Y'all might want to play them on the road, bro.
Green Bay's won 10 of the last 11 against Dallas.
That's sad.
Like, it's an interesting statistic.
Okay, we'll go to the last game here because we just talked. And by the way, I want to point out, I don't even hate on Kansas City and Buffalo. I think whoever wins that game, it's going to be a great game.
We got 2 games, Josh.
Against the Ravens. I think it's going to be great if the Ravens win. Or the Texans. I think Texans are a really fun watch. But my thing is, I'm just warning the teams that play them, Ravens or Texans. Me and Tom been saying it all year. Do not let that game come down to the end because you already know what's going. Unless Tom said, unless you're Green Bay, but do not let that game come down to the end, or you're gonna lose because they're gonna throw a flag when you touch Patrick. They're gonna. Yeah. And I love this though. This is the thing I can't stand, Tom. You remember when Tom Brady did all that stuff like Mahomes does, and y'all told me how he's so annoying. I like how y'all like Mahomes when he does it, though. It's the same thing. He does the same thing he does. Throws his hands up, acts like he got shot. I'm like, have the same energy, y'all. And I love Mahomes, but have the same energy. When Tom Brady did it, he was, he's awful. Oh, what, guys, I can't even say the word because they were very mean about it. They were calling him the P word, and not the nice one.
The P one, the PP.
You're calling him, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, yeah. Okay? Call him a pussy.
Yeah.
That's what y'all were calling him. Oh, see, he ain't tough. Oh, but when Mahomes does it, look, this guy. Oh, it's to the announcers, though. It glazed the hell out of that man. Like, calm down. And I feel bad because I think he's the best quarterback, great player, fantastic. But y'all go way too hard on that. It is like, God. Did you see the thing with Collinsworth? him doing that. Tony Romo doing a game with him and Josh Allen. He's like, it's so fun. All the memes. But yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
into Pittsburgh Buffalo. What do you think, Tom? Go ahead.
I mean,
Quick transition.
Buffalo should have made it that close. I don't know why Buffalo plays down to everybody. Like, just
I
whatever.
agree.
This game against Kansas City will be interesting. That's all I'll say. I honestly don't think Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's weird. They actually could win the whole thing if they just play their game. But they just play. I feel like they play down to people. They
I agree.
should.
I
It's
agree.
just beat them. Whatever. And like I said, Pittsburgh has some weird voodoo magic that keeps them around.
If you were,
They shouldn't even have been in that. That game should have been. That should have been the time that the Vikings had to start Joe Webb. Love Joe Webb, but that game, you could tell they didn't belong.
yeah,
And they played the defensive game of their life, but they still lost 30 or 27-3. It was all right, this game was over at halftime.
yeah.
That
I think
game,
Kansas City. I would pick. I would think Kansas City should win, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see.
I just don't I don't know. I just don't think Josh doesn't They need to use those tight ends. That's against Kansas City. I love Kincaid, and I think Knox is hurt, but maybe he isn't. But those are the guys, they got to use them, man.
I agree.
And if they run the ball real well, I think they got a chance.
I agree.
But
they got to stick to that running game, though. I think so.
I mean, I don't think Kansas City's that special. That's all. They got a good defense.
No. I don't either. But the thing I do like that they've done is they're accepting how they play now. They're like, we cannot try to score in 2 seconds. We got to run the ball, do a little clock thing. It's smart.
Yeah, I do like how they play with Josh Allen. You know what? At this point, who cares? Just let him run.
Oh yeah, but I think I told you I would be. I want to see where he is, and if they keep doing this in 3 years, we'll see where he's at. Because I remember Cam Newton was Superman, and then out of left field, all them hits started catching up. My man lost 2 or 3 steps so fast, and it was sad. I was like, yo, not Cam. Because Carolina did the same thing. You remember? They were like, Cam, win us games, buddy. Run around, run over people. And no offense to Josh Allen, because people forget, because he's, Cam's now a personality. Really good show, too, by the way. And was he wrong about anything he said? Because right now he looks like the smartest human on earth. I gave him crap when he would play and run his mouth. Okay, I used to say stuff, but I'm also fair. I love Cam. Tom knows how much. He was my boy. I would always pick him in fantasy. Love Cam as a player, and what did he say that was wrong about the game manager thing? Because that man's looking like a prophet right now. He really is. He told you about Dak. No one wanted to listen. Okay? And Brock Purdy. Just saying.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean,
well, not only that, he didn't say it. What I didn't like about that whole thing.
I mean,
what I didn't like about that. What I didn't like about that. Good.
He's not. He's wrong, and he's not wrong because he's looking at it from.
Well, I don't think what I don't think is people listen to him. He didn't say they were bad. He just said it. He said there's a type of player, and he's right. It doesn't mean you're bad. It means you play in structure. Jared Goff's great at that. He's a really good quarterback, but he's the play has to go right. If stuff goes wrong, it's a problem.
I mean, I will say this: Cam played in a different era though, where you could still nail the
quarterback. Yeah.
Field.
Yeah.
I think if Josh Allen played more in that era, I don't know how long he would have lasted. I mean, seriously, Cam did play, 2014 through 2018, that was still hey, quarterbacks are free game, man.
No, you're right. You're right. No.
Now it's definitely, I honestly don't know what it is. It's just I don't think DBs are willing to take shots, and I don't know if they're trying to just protect themselves too. But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you see it. You see some of these safeties. When you watch the Bucks, Winfield play, they'll nail you.
I like him. He's a heck of a player,
that's
man.
What you need to do. But there's some that just
I agree.
Dude, you play safety in the NFL, man. Your body, you got to throw it out there, man. That's how you win a game sometimes if you nail someone.
Hey, 2,000 Ravens, baby.
Shot that makes them think twice about maybe diving for that extra yard.
2,000 Ravens.
You never know when that matters, and that's really I don't understand. Some of these teams I watch, I'm just what are DBs doing?
No, I agree. I agree.
Linebackers, stop pulling up, man. Just take the shot. As long as you're not hitting, deliberately throwing your head at their head, why not?
No, I agree.
And honestly, most teams at this point, when players get fined and stuff for all that stuff, the team takes care of it anyways.
So I don't know, man. But yeah, Steelers didn't really belong in the playoffs. Like I said, I don't know how they win 10 games. Luck and time they play certain teams.
No, they know they have that voodoo, and I'm glad Tomlin's coming back. Great coach, love the rivalry. But no, I agree
Honestly,
with
I don't know if he's just tired of the questions. He didn't really he seems exhausted. I wonder if he's frustrated with dude, he's had to coach. He's done an unbelievable job coaching these terrible teams.
No, I agree.
They're awful. They have a good defense, but it revolves around T.J. Watt being healthy.
Well, no. Not only that,
they don't win without him.
Their secondary's mediocre, man. It's been mediocre. I mean, I think Porter Jr. is really good. I think he's going to be really good. But besides that, I mean, what do you got? They're okay. Sutton left.
Yeah, they need that leadership like they've had in the past. I mean, you keep hearing some of these veterans there just saying, like, man, it seems like they have a locker room that's kind of split in how you go out and prepare and stuff. It's just interesting, that's all. But, all right, man.
Okay, well, next...
Should we make our predictions?
Well, first, we got one last game to talk about. It's going to be quick. The Tampa Bay, Philadelphia. I don't believe we did. How bad Philly looked. Do that real quick, and then we'll make our predictions. But go ahead.
I mean, I'll keep it short and sweet. Philly looked really tired.
They did.
I think they've played a lot of football. There is such a thing as a Super Bowl hangover. They look so disjointed. Nothing just doesn't. It's just interesting. That's all.
What do you do? You think they should get rid of anybody or no?
Give Tampa a lot of credit, man. But I think I mentioned I picked Tampa because I'm not so sure the way that Philly's playing that Tampa can't win that game. So
I think I picked Tampa too.
Good for
Yeah.
Baker. Baker has 2 playoff wins, and he got the Browns one of them that they've had in the past 40 years. So everybody likes to crap on Baker, but I think Baker's got the weapons. If he's willing to force it in there, he could actually do some things and be a little dangerous next week in Detroit.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. All of them. In fact, let's just segue into that. I'm going to do them in order of when they're played. Because now I see it's like a square. Okay, so we got Houston at Baltimore. What are your thoughts?
I think Baltimore better be ready to show up and ready for some physicality. This is where I'm not sure the bye week helps people. Just because, staying on rhythm and stuff. If they start slow and Houston gets up a score, I think they're going to panic again.
Okay.
Again, Baltimore, Houston's playing with house money. I think Baltimore will win it. I would be really shocked that this time around they have people on that team that were that number 1 seed in 2019. They got to remember what it was like.
Yeah.
So
I think.
But I don't know, man. We'll find out. That's for sure. But I do think Baltimore's a little more uptight, and it's going to be a lot closer than Baltimore fans want it to be.
I think Houston's going to play a tough game. I think it's playoff football. I don't think they're going to blow anybody out. No, it ain't happening. And if they do, hey, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But my thing is with the Ravens, they don't have an excuse this time. That was a young team. They had no receivers at all. They were really bad. And I'm not saying they're terrible, but yeah, they were pretty bad. I mean, they were dropping everything. It was awful. They have some veterans this time. If you didn't show up for this one, that's on you guys. I don't know what to tell you. You should win this game. We'll see. I mean, like Tom said, it's playoff football. We'll see. And Houston, like Tom said, they're out here slinging it. They're like, if we lose, we lose. I mean, who cares? So even if you get up even a little bit, be ready. They're gonna throw everything at you. They don't care. What do you get? Oh no, we lost. Oh no. Oh, big deal. They ain't supposed to be here. Okay, they're good.
Houston's a much different team than Week 1.
I will say
Baltimore is due to a point.
A lot. They are. That's the one thing people ain't talking about. Houston's got injuries. That's why Ravens have no excuse. Houston has injuries, and from that first game, they're not the same team. Okay, they play a lot different. They use their tight ends now. Ravens, you didn't have your 2 best edge rushers even on the team at that point. So, I don't even know, and your defensive.
I'll go with the home team for now, but like you said, I think it's a very tight game. So
I think the Ravens should win. If they don't, that's their fault. I don't know what to tell them. Hey, it's playoff football, buddy. You can't win them all. All right? I mean,
is that finally one where maybe Harbaugh, you start to question? Hey,
if they lose that one, yeah, that's big. That's like, dude, you can't keep doing this every time we get a break. And I want everyone to please be fair, because every time we lose a game, it's Lamar's fault. I watched those playoff games. The team didn't show up. The man was hitting people in the hands. He dropped it. I'm okay with criticism, if you're being fair. That Titans game, they didn't stop the running back, which, ask Tom or anybody that knows football, you ain't winning a game if the other running back's running for 200 yards ever. It's because they're gonna run the clock down and score, and then you're panicking because guess what? You have to, because if they get the ball back, guess what's gonna happen? Oh, we didn't score. 15 more minutes off the clock. I'm exaggerating. 8, 9 minutes off the clock. Get the ball back. Game's over. I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, you can't win games like that. Okay. More veteran leadership. I feel like this is a more cohesive team, though. So I think they should be fine, but you never know. But here's the thing I will give the Ravens. This is the thing you have going for you. And I mean this 100%, Tom. If you can get through this game, I think they can win the AFC Championship game, and I'll tell you why. No one's gonna be talking about them, and they're always a good team when they're like the one that feels disrespected. When you see them have problems, is like this week, where they're like, oh, they're gonna win this game. We're not even gonna talk about the Texans and Ravens. That's when they're bad, because they get real relaxed and they're like, oh, whatever. When they have adversity, like next week, they're gonna be the team. They're gonna be like, Kansas City's the champs, or Buffalo's playing great. I think they can go in there and win. That's when they play well. They're great when you're like putting them against the wall. When they're the team that everyone's like, you're gonna win. They always not play down. They just don't, like Tom said, they don't come out like with a fire lit under them, like playing hard at the beginning. It just seems that way. When you give them like a reason to come out and fly around at the beginning of the game, and they have that toughness, they're good. When they're sitting there like, oh, we got this game, and they just, they walk out there all slow and like, then they, like Tom said, they get behind, and like you said, of course the pressure's gonna be on your number one seed at home. That's natural. So I think Tom's right. It's gonna be a really close game. We'll see. All right, your team, Green Bay at San Francisco. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I mean, I'm going to keep this one super quick, too. I think this comes down to, can Green Bay successfully run the ball like they have? And how they've been doing it, they use a lot of play action, too, in their pass game, and they get those middle shots in the field, right, and get those linebackers off the ball. I think that's the key. And, again, I think Green Bay's playing without money. I'm picking the Packers because I just have a feeling I think the San Francisco team has been overhyped all year. They're good. I just don't think Brock Purdy's the guy. If Green Bay defensively the other key is, can they contain Christian McCaffrey? If they can keep him from having any explosive plays, Green Bay has as good of a shot as anybody to win that game.
Right.
Those are your keys. I don't think Brock Purdy's good enough. Make Brock Purdy beat you.
Okay, here's
making really good throws.
I agree with you. Here's my thing. I'm worried about Green Bay's defense, like you said, against C-Mac. Here's why I do think they're going to be fine. I'm not going to pick them because I don't pick games. I think it's going to be a really close game, though, and I think Green Bay has a shot. Because I'm like you. If it comes down to the end, I trust their quarterback more than Brock Purdy by a lot. Because I don't think Brock Purdy's going to win you something like that.
Just remember something. Joe Barry's the goat against the quarterbacks. He plays terrible against Tommy Cutler.
but here's the thing. Here's why I'm going to put an extra wrinkle in here, because no one ever brings this up, because Kyle Shanahan's great and all that crap, and I agree with that. He does this frequently, though, in games, and it really, really frustrates me as a running guy. This man will be getting 6-7 yards a carry and just has to throw some stupid screen or, dude, just run the ball. I feel like he's going to do what he always does. You're going to be controlling the game. You can run for 6 a carry, and then even if he does, he'll just throw a screen and get 2nd and 12 because I was like, hey, I could do this. I like him. Great coach, but sometimes he frustrates me, dude. I don't know why he does that. Why? I'm like, why? I don't know. Sorry, Tom. Just a pet peeve of mine. That's a great team. I just sometimes with Kyle Shanahan, he frustrates me. Like, why are we doing this, dude? We're running for 8 a carry. Like, don't stop throwing screens when we're kicking their ass. Let's run it. Green Bay's got a shot. They definitely do. And They're playing on fire. They're playing on fire. And like Tom said about the rest thing, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of it either. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I could be completely wrong. The two number one seeds come out, play on fire, and then I'll be like, hey, okay, I'm just not a big rest guy. I'm not. I'm like Tom. It's not my favorite thing, especially because I don't mean to go back to the Ravens, but in the Ravens case, your team was rolling. I don't get the reason you want to put a loss at your home stadium where you're going to be, which is really stupid because now you're on a 1-game losing streak there, and I get no one played, but it's like that feeling of invincibility there is kind of sapped. But same thing with San Francisco. You guys are playing a team that's, like you said, you guys been playing for what, 4 straight weeks for your lives. They're over here just coasting, and now you got to turn the switch, and the Green Bay's already in like fight or flight mode, you know. And like you said, playing with house money, man. Always give that team a shot. They're not worried about nothing. No one's talking crap about Green Bay regardless. They could lose by 100. No one's gonna be like, "What a terrible season." They're gonna be like, "Oh, they're ahead of schedule. Their team age is 25." Okay, next game, Tampa Bay at Detroit. Tom, what do you think? I think this is honestly, out of all the games, this is the one where I think it could really be. I think Tampa can win. I really do. Like,
I could see Tampa win if they can protect Baker and he can get some shots. But they also, if they can run the ball just enough efficiently, right? Their defense is good enough to give Jared Goff fits. They did in Tampa.
yeah.
And they won like 20-6. It was just Baker just had a rough day, and that's when their defense, like Detroit's defense, was playing a lot better at the time. I just don't think people, they didn't really understand how to stop them or how to play them. So I'm still gonna go with Detroit. There's something special brewing, and I think Dan Campbell, they're gonna get a couple turnovers on Baker. That's gonna be the difference.
I think
Baker's gonna be Baker. So.
I agree with you. I would lean Detroit if I was picking. I would lean Detroit just because they're home, and like you said, I really like their offense. One of my favorite players is the Sun God's amazing. I love that guy. But
Brown, let's go. He is good.
But Tampa Bay, like you said, I agree. I mean, we're pretty much on the same page. I don't like that their running game's really bad because it is. Even against Philly, they had plays where I was like, that's against Philly too, and they were giving up. Their defense was whatever it was at the end of the year. Tampa Bay, like you said, Baker's going to throw some picks probably. That's just what he does. I still don't trust Detroit's defense at all. They're not really that scary to me. But I think Detroit's probably going to win that game if you ask me, and I think they're the well-rounded team, and they've been all year. So I love their running game too. They got 2 really good running backs. Okay. Last game, probably the most watched, the biggest hyped one. I think it's going to be great too. Kansas City at Buffalo. All the crap I said, I can't wait to watch this game either. Kansas City at Buffalo.
If Buffalo gets Rasul Douglas back,
that's big.
Which I don't know. Yeah, I'm going Buffalo, man.
Okay.
I'm telling, I think they're going to exercise the demons. That's it. There's something. I agreed when Tony Romo said, hey, if they can figure out how to run the ball efficiently and manufacture the yards like they have been, they showed against Pittsburgh they can be scrappy. They're getting plays from everybody. Dalton Kincaid's coming on. Yes, their defense is young and inexperienced, but you know what? They still buckled down when it mattered. I still think they have a really good defensive front. I think they can do it.
Okay.
But they'll play up to Kansas City's level. That's the difference. I think, and that's what always gets them too. They're kind of like Baltimore. They screw around with teams they shouldn't be screwing around with, and then they play up and above a level. But I don't expect this to be a shootout. I expect this to be like 23-20 or something
I agree.
like that.
I agree.
And I think again, they're gonna shut down the passing game. The Kansas City's passing game is
they don't have anybody.
Kelsey's old. Now they're showing, hey, they miss Hill and all that. They just don't have, MVS and Tooney are terrible. They're using all these other rookies. If they can get a run game going with Pacheco, maybe they got a chance. Their defense will keep them in it. I wouldn't count Mahomes out yet. Like you said, you never know. There's going to be some wild call at the end. Whoever has the ball last year will be like, oh, my God. So, but I'm going to take Buffalo.
I don't really have much to say because Tom said every point that I was going to say. I think Buffalo will win because I'm like Tom. I'm gonna give you my picks right now after I pick this game because I'm just gonna give you what I think's gonna happen. I'm gonna give you my Raven pick right here because I want Buffalo at Ravens. I just think it'd be a really good AFC Championship game. Everyone will watch it. It'd be wild. Those two running around just making plays all the time. Be crazy. I think it's gonna be Buffalo at Baltimore if the Ravens show up because like Tom said they're playing someone they're supposed to beat. You know how that goes. Next, I'm doing it. Tom, I hope I don't jinx your team. I'm going Green Bay at Detroit for the NFC title. I think that's going to happen. That's what I think. And I think exactly what Tom said about Buffalo. Kansas City just doesn't have it this year. They don't have the weapons. They don't. And I love Rasheed Rice, but nah. If Rasul Douglas plays, they'll zone them up and they'll be okay. Play a little man, mix it up.
Yeah. They just don't have, Kelsey's not explosive anymore. They don't have that dude.
So what are your four picks?
What's your opens up the offense?
What are your picks, Tom, for the championship games?
Baltimore, Buffalo, and then I'm going Detroit, Green Bay too.
Let's go.
I just I think it's it would just be so poetic to have Detroit and Green Bay play for the NFC title game, and that's what makes football awesome. And I just there's something special about the little run Green Bay is on. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to enjoy it as a fan no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter if they get blown out or not. I don't think they will. I think Green Bay has matured a lot over the year, and I'm really excited to watch them. And I respect the heck out of the San Francisco 49ers too. Please do not take this as
and the only reason I agree with Tom.
It's when you play someone. That's all.
I agree with Tom, and I want to point this out as a Ravens fan because I don't want to hear this if somehow Houston either wins or plays the game close. I don't want to, and it probably is the Russ thing, but I want to make this clear. Let's give them credit, okay? If Houston plays well, even if they play bad, that is a really good team, okay? I am not hating on them. They're well ahead of schedule, and if I forgot to mention this earlier, my coach here is D'Amico Ryans. I don't care. I would pick him because that was a mess when he went there, and look at it now, okay? Just saying. They're competitive. They're tough. I love the moxie they play with, and I just want them. Just make sure you give them credit regardless. If they win that game, give them all the credit in the world. If they play them close, whatever. Like Tom said, like Green Bay, leave them alone. They're way ahead of schedule. And I agree with you with Green Bay. I just have a feeling. I don't know why. I like the way they're playing, and their defense seems to have figured it out, man. Simone Biles' husband has helped a lot.
Their defensive front is really underrated.
Yep.
They have, and that's the one thing that they've had all year. And now, Lucas Van Ness is starting to pick it up, and Kenny Clark normally plays a lot better as the season goes along. When their defensive front's on, they give people problems.
And remember, everybody, these playoffs are going to be awesome. Likes are always appreciated. Subscribe for more content. And as always, Tom,
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Bye.